Oh, that's a terrific. I know we've all seen it, but I think that we still have to give kudos to Let the Right One In, the Swedish film, because it took. The degree of difficulty was that it took this tired, hoary, old warhorse of a vampire mythos and completely reinvented it and reinvigorated it, at least for my money, and really played with some nasty stuff. After I saw the Swedish film, Nancy found the source material, the book, and I highly recommend the book. I felt like a 14-year-old boy with a Stephen King novel under the blankets when I read it, and it's really creepy and scary and violent and strange and aberrant. And and I got to say this because I know we all like to kind of err in the direction of cult and but I thought there was a reasonably good mainstream effort last year that I kind of like called The Crazies. I think part is because the acting was so terrific in that. The guy that played the deputy, I don't know his name. Maybe somebody here knows who I'm talking about.
Timothy Oliphant.
No, the deputy. His deputy. He was the sheriff. That guy is great, and it's like you watch that movie for a second time. This kid is a remarkable young talent.
Did you see the remake of Let the Right One In?
I haven't seen it.
Okay.
I really like it.
Hit him with it. I absolutely hated it.
Really?
And it's a beautifully made film, but it took out everything that made the Swedish film so original was totally removed from the American remake. And that's what really killed me when I saw that film. It was like,
usually the way though.
what?
Whenever they take a decent European film or Asian film and
It's more than decent.
in Hollywood, it sucks.
I disagree. I am the biggest fan of the Swedish one, and I thought aside from a couple of obvious scene omissions, I think we all know one of them in particular, there's actually kind of a very adult tone to Let Me In, which very easily could have been, the director thought, it's about kids, so the studio wanted to either age them or tone it down to a PG, and I think as an American studio horror film, I think it's got some pretty heavy stuff in it. Stuff that you wouldn't probably see if it was something generated for the studios. If the Swedish one hadn't come first.
What surprises me though is about the second one is when you go to the source material, the book, there is such a unique, amazing essay with the Renfield character in that book, and it comes to such a phenomenal climax. And there's a rape and an actual regeneration of a victim, like a lizard's tail regrowing on a lizard that's had its tail cut off by little boys that are tormenting it, in the woods. And I'd never read anything like that. And I go, why would you want to remake it and not include that stuff? That's when so the sins of omission for the second one are my problem with it. Not that it wasn't a valid exercise, big studio, a Hollywood exercise, but that you would think they would have gone back to that source material and included that stuff because it's just this remarkable thrust to it and revisionist vampire mythology.
One thing about that film, obviously all us New Yorkers here,